Hello everyone, my name is Sinta Pebriyanti. Let me introduce member of group 7B. First, it's me, Sinta Pebriyanti. Second is Anastacia Justine. Third is Pandy Yosua. Fourth is Oxana. Fifth Daniel. Sixth Yosephine Vania. And the last one is Yasinta Putri. Today, in this video, we will tell you about noun who can explain by me and my friend Vania. The second material is about verb who can explain by Daniel and Anastacia. The third material is about pronoun who can explain by Pandy. The fourth material is about adjective who can explain by Oxana. And the last material is about adverb who can explain by Yasinta Putri. Without any further ado, let's get to the first material. The first material is noun. What is noun? A noun is a word that names something, such as a person, place, thing, or idea. In a sentence, nouns can play the role of subject, direct object, indirect object, subject complement, object complement, appositive, or adjective. The kind of noun is countable and uncountable noun, noun as subject, noun as object, and noun as after preposition. Countable and uncountable noun. Countable is a noun that can be calculated, and uncountable is a noun that can't be calculated. For the example is, I bought 5 flowers yesterday. 5 flowers is countable noun. I have 2 friends, Pandy and Daniel. 2 friends is countable noun. I need much money to buy a car. Much money is uncountable noun. Sinta drinks a lot of water. A lot of is uncountable noun. Next is noun as subject. Every sentence must have a subject, and that subject will always be a noun. The subject of a sentence is the person, place, or thing that is doing or being the verb in that sentence. For the example is, Borobudur Temple is the most beautiful place in Indonesia. Borobudur Temple is a noun as subject. Maria is happy. Maria is a noun as subject. The last example is, people and dolphin has a good relation. People and dolphin is a noun as subject.
Hello everyone, it's me Yosephine Wiharianti. I will explain noun as object and preposition object. Noun as object. What is noun as object? Nouns can also be objects of a verb in a sentence. An object can be either a direct object or an indirect object. Jadi, noun as object ini bertindak sebagai objek di dalam sebuah kalimat. Nah, untuk lebih jelasnya itu letaknya ada di belakang kalimat atau di akhir kalimat. Let's see the example. Give the books to her. Books di sini bertindak sebagai objek. The next example is the plane carried the president to China. Presiden di sini bertindak sebagai objek. The last example is the teacher asked the student a question. Student di sini bertindak sebagai objek. Noun after preposition. What is noun after preposition? Preposition is a word combined with noun or pronoun. It forms a phrase that translates a verb, noun, or phrase. Jadi, preposition atau yang kita kenal sebagai kata depan adalah kata yang diletakkan sebelum noun, pronoun, noun phrase, noun clause, dan gerund. Let's see the example. He likes listening to music. To menunjukkan preposition dan music menunjukkan kata noun. The next example is my house is beside the church. Beside menunjukkan kata preposition yang mengawali the church atau yang disebut juga sebagai noun phrase. The last example is I have no idea of what you are going to do. Of juga termasuk ke dalam preposition, dan what you are going to do merupakan noun clause. This is the final explanation of the noun. The next explanation is verb.
Hello everyone, my name is Jhosias Samosir, and now I will tell you about verb. Verb as verb 1, verb 2, and verb 3. What is verb? Verb are the action words in a sentence that describe what the subject is doing. A verb is the part of a sentence that tells us what the subject performs. Verbs are the hearts of English sentences. Today, I will discuss about verb 1, verb 2, and verb 3. Verb 1. The first form of verb, namely verb 1, is the simplest of all the verbs. This verb is also called the infinitive of base form, which is the basic form. When is the verb 1 used? The verb 1 is used in several tenses and types of sentences, namely simple present future, simple past future, and imperative sentences. Here is an example of an English sentence using the verb 1. I read a book every day. The sentence is used in simple present. I knew she would call me. The sentence is used in simple present future, and we will do our homework later. The sentence is used in simple past future. Verb 2. Verb 2, also called past tense, are used to denote past activities. The use of this verb is very easy to remember. Why? Because the verb 2 is used in the simple past tense only. Just simple past? Yep, only one. Therefore, I said earlier considering that using verb 2 is very easy. Consider the following example. She did a beautiful artwork yesterday, and we walked home last night. Verb 3. Verb 3 is also called past participle. The easiest term is called verb 3. The verb 3 is used to describe activities that have been carried out in the past. Do any of you know which verb 3 is used in what tense? Perfect. There are 4 tenses using the third form of verbs, namely present perfect, past perfect, present future perfect, and past future perfect. Example, she has taken a bath. The sentence is used in present perfect. The kids will have slept by 11 p.m. The sentence is used in present future perfect. Mother had cooked dinner when we went home. The sentence is used in past perfect. Lucy wouldn't have finished her task if she had gone to the party. The sentence is used in past future perfect.
Hello everyone, my name is Anastacia Justine, and now I will tell you about verb as subject and verb as object. Verb. What is verb? Verb are the action words in the sentences that describe what the subject is doing. A verb is the part of the sentences that tell us what the subject performs, and verbs are the heart of the English sentences. Today we will discuss for the verb as subject and verb as object. Verb as subject. Verb as subject. The first we have gerunds and infinitive. What is the difference of gerunds and infinitive? So these both are based with the verb, but if gerunds we put ing with the verbs, and if infinitive we put to form the verb. So the example we have the verb talk. In gerunds we add ing, become talking, and in the infinitive we have the verb talk, we put to, so it becomes to talk. So in this the verb is a subject in one sentence. Let's move to the example of gerunds. In here we have 3 verbs. The first verb is tell, second collect, and play. So in here the verb we must add ing to become a gerund. So the verb become a subject in one sentence. The example, telling lies can get you into deep trouble. So in here the verb tell are added by telling. And then the second one, collect. Collecting cars is his hobby, so the verb collect we add ing, so it becomes subject in one sentence. And then the last is playing music give me great pleasure. So in here play we add by ing, so the verb becomes subject in one sentence. Next we go to the example of infinitive. In here we add to form to the verb, so the verb become subject also in one sentence. We have 2 verbs in here. The example is drive and give. So the first one, to drive very fast here is not advisable. So in here the drive are added by two, so it becomes the subject in one sentence. The second one, we have give, so we put to form to the verb give, become to give advices is easy for most of common people. So the verb give in these sentences become the subject in these sentences. Next, we move to the verb as an object. In here we have two types of verb as an object. The first one is transitive verbs, that are verbs that take objects are known as transitive verbs. And second, we have intransitive verbs, that are verbs not followed by an object are called transitive verbs. So for the example, or you still don't understand, let us see the example. In here we take a simple example so we can know what is the difference of transitive verbs and intransitive verbs that are verb as object in one sentence. Okay, let's move to the first one, transitive verbs. The example of the sentences: I hope the Senators win the next games. So in here we see that the verb win has a direct object, it means the next game, and is therefore a transitive verb. So in here, the verb win is an object in these sentences. The next one, the example of intransitive verbs, we have the sentence, did we win? The verb win has no direct object and is therefore an intransitive verb. So in here, the win are not the object. Yep, so thank you for today. This is the verb for subject and object. Thank you. Hello everyone, my name is Anastacia Justine, and now I will replace Pandy Yosua to explain about adjective. Adjective are words that are serve to explain, describe, or limit pronouns or nouns that are still general, and the use of adjective can be exemplified by the phrases below. The first one is descriptive noun. So in here, explain about the size, shape, color, smell, taste, and so on. And the example is a handsome, tall, young, smiling white man. And the second example is her small, round, pink face. B. Limiting adjective. So in here, it's just providing about the state, type, and so on. Limiting adjective. So in here, there are many adjectives. There's numeral, and then adjective of identify quantity, and then adjective for exclamatory, article adjective, demonstrative adjective, possessive proper adjective, possessive adjective, and interrogative adjective. Possessive adjective is a possessive that must be followed by noun. The example is my pleasure. Next, possessive proper adjective is a property that uses the noun as the adjective, and how to use it. The example, the first is singular noun, the girls, and the plural is the girls. Interrogative adjective is an adjective that is used to ask a question. The example is what time is it? The next, we have exclamatory adjective, that is an adjective used in calling out. The example, what a bright boy. The last, we have article adjective. In here there are a and an, and then the b we have the. So if a or an is used for a singular noun and then which is still general, the example is a basketball is round. And the second, the article the can be used for singular, plural, and or uncountable nouns. Article that is classified into the definite article because it already implies this, that, earlier, it, and other. In other words, the object being meant is clear. Example, know the man. So that's all. Thank you. This is the presentation for adjective.
Hello guys, my name is Oxana and today I want to tell you about pronoun. First of all, we have to know about the definition of pronoun. A pronoun is a word that takes the place of a noun. For example, I, me, he, she, herself, you, it, that, they, each, few, many, who, whoever, whose, someone, everybody, etc. There are three types of pronoun. Subject, for example, he. Object, him. Possessive, his. There are rules for using pronoun. Rule number 1. Subject pronouns are used when the pronoun is the subject of the sentence. You can remember subject pronouns easily by filling in the blank subject space for a simple sentence. Example, blah 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 did the work. I, he, she, we, they, who, whoever, etc. All qualify and are, therefore, Subject pronouns. Rule number 2. Subject pronouns are also used if they rename the subject. They will follow to be verb, such as is, are, was, were, am, will be, had been, etc. Example, it is she. This is she cooking. It is we who are responsible for the decision to make. Rule number 3. This rule surprises even language watchers when who refers to a personal pronoun. Example, I, you, he, she, we, they. It takes the verb that agrees with that pronoun. Example, it is you who are mistaken. Rule number 4. In addition to subject pronouns, there are also object pronouns, known more specifically as direct object, indirect object, and object of a preposition. For more detail, see the definition of a verb in the Finding Nouns, Verbs, and Subject section. Object pronouns include me, him, herself, us, them, themselves. Example, Yemima saw him walking out the restaurant, or give her the pen. Rule number 5. The pronouns who, that, and which become singular or plural depending on the subject. If the subject is singular, use a singular verb. If it's plural, use a plural verb. Example, she is the only one of those girls who is always arrive on time. The word who refers to one, therefore use the singular verb is. Example, she is the one of those girls who are always arrive on time. The word who refers to girl, therefore use the plural verb are. Rule number 6. Pronouns that are singular, I, he, she, everyone, everybody, anyone, anybody, no one, nobody, someone, somebody, each, either, neither, etc., require singular verbs. This rule is frequently overlooked when using the pronoun each, either, and neither, followed by of. Those three pronouns always take singular verbs. Example, each of the girls cooks well. Either of us is capable of doing the homework. Neither of them is available to pick up the phone right now. And that's all for today. Thank you for listening.
Hi everyone, my name is Yasinta Putri Chairulnisa. I will continue from the previous material that has been explained by my friends. Finally, we will discuss the last material. The last one is adverb. What is an adverb? An adverb is a word, phrase, or a part of speech used to describe a verb, adjective, clause, or another adverb. It simply tells the readers how, where, when, or the degree at which something was done. Adverb is divided into 5 parts. The first one is adverb of time. The second one is adverb of place. The third one is adverb of frequency. The next one is adverb of manner, and the last one is adverb of degree or quantity. Well, the first one is adverb of time. Adverb of time is an adverb which tells us about time of happenings or time of something is done in the sentence. Adverb of time are used in the beginning or end of the sentence. Adverbs of time are like today, yesterday, tomorrow, tonight, first, less early, later, soon, regularly, and never. For example, here we have 2 sentences which use adverb of time. First, my factory caught fire and burned down in the last month. There is a phrase last month in the sentence show us about a phrase of last month is the use of the adverb of time. The next one is I have completed my homework already. There is already that show us about the use of the adverb of time. The second one is adverb of place. Adverb of place is an adverb which tells us about the place where something is done or happens in the sentence. It is used generally after the verb, object, or end of the sentence. Adverb of place are like here, there, nearby, inside, outside, underground, overground, top, somewhere, and nowhere. For example, here we have 2 sentences which use adverb of place. First, John looked everywhere for his lost keys. There is everywhere as an adverb of place. The next sentence is the boys were playing outside. In this sentence, outside is adverb of place. The third one is adverb of frequency. Adverb of frequency is an adverb which tells us how often something is done or happens in the sentence. Adverb of frequency are like frequently, infrequently, regularly, often, always, weekly, rarely, again and again, enough, and only. For the example, he rarely visits his mother. Rarely show the verb of frequency. She always forgets her books. Always show us the adverb of frequency in this sentence. The next one is adverb of manner. Adverb of manner is an adverb which tells us about manner of how something was done or happened. Such type of adverbs are generally end with ly, or we can say it with ly, such as cheerfully, sadly, slowly, weirdly, firmly, foolishly, delightfully, carelessly, selflessly, kindly, and hastily. For the example, the girl read quickly. In the sentence, we know that the girl read quickly. Quickly in here means the girl reads so fast. The boy ate hungrily. Hungrily in here means the boy very hungry. The last one is adverb of degree or quantity. Adverb of degree or quantity is an adverb which tells us about the level or extent of something was done or happened in a sentence. It is used before the adjective or adverb. Adverbs of degree or quantity are like extremely, fully, hardly, somewhat, truly, very, fairly, really, nonly, barely, to, just, and enough. For the example, the exam was extremely easy. There is extremely that show us about the use of the adverb of quantity. It was barely raining. Barely show us about the use of the adverb of quantity too. Well, maybe that's enough from us. It's starting from the noun, verb, adjective, pronoun, and adverb, which has been explained previously by my friends. Hopefully, we can both understand it well. Thank you for your attention, and thank you also to Mr. Joseph, who is our supporting lecturer in the English course this time. So, that's all for this time. See you next time!